Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock back with a second recording this morning. You know, guys, I totally forgot. I made the recording just now on writing down your weaknesses and handing it over to God. I forgot. A gentleman DM'd me last night and asked me to do a recording on the topic of does your ex misses you? So I totally forgot about it. I'm so sorry. And I guess he just heard my recording on YouTube and hit me up again. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So I wanted to talk to you all about this topic. And if there's any of you who want me to touch on a certain topic to get my opinion, there's nothing factual. I am not perfect. I do not have it all figured out. I'm in a process just like you and everyone else. So, but I thank you guys for your support and for those of you who have shared my recordings and, trust my opinion. But again, I'm not perfect. I promise you, I'm struggling just like you. But he wanted me to touch on the topic of does your ex misses you, right? Okay, here's the thing. There are so many different factors into this. And as you guys know, I don't write anything down. I just speak and let the spirit guide me, so I'm not looking at any notes. So sometimes I get off track and come back. So hopefully you receive this. So many factors come into this, right? But first, we must realize that hurt people. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing is, the first thing should be, did God choose this individual for you or did you choose for yourself? Like many of us do, especially, the first love that we chose. And then next, hurt people. So I think as people, we tend to take the hurt more personal, as if the person hurt us, let it be they may have cheated on you, they may have left you, whatever they did, right? We tend to take that hurt personal, as if we're not good enough ourselves, or that the person had a plot from day one to just hurt us. And not saying that couldn't happen, because the narcissist does that. Like they target you from day one to hurt you. So I'm not speaking on that. I'm just speaking on the fact that sometimes we tend to think a person has sat down and plot from day one, to corner us off and they're going to hurt you. And what happens is a hurt does feel personal. It does. And because you're vulnerable at that time, it's almost hard to see anything else. All you see is the hurt. And what do hurt people do? Anger comes from hurt. So now you're angry because you've been hurt, and now you see red. So when you see red, you can't even think clearly. You're just seeing everything you want to see. There's no way for you to, calm your mind and calm your spirit to understand, like, okay, let me look at this thing in the spiritual realm, right? When you're in red mode, listen, you want to bust head to the white meat. So you can't even see things in the spiritual realm. But if you ever get to the point where you're able to step back and stay in the spiritual realm, and that's going to require you to kill the flesh. So that's going to come with some time. That's going to come with God at the center. And that's not going to happen overnight. But when you come back to the spiritual realm of things, it's important to understand this. We all came from different upbringings. You have a group of people who came from that picture perfect, which there is none, but picture perfect upbringing. Parents in love, 2-parent household, peace. Everything is, lights, camera, and Disney World, and horses and fairies, and everything's perfect. There's peace. And then you have a group of individuals who was raised in torture, raised in hell. They've never experienced peace. They've never experienced parental love, genuine love. All they know is how to be in fight and flight mode, be in protective mode, shutdown mode, because they have been protecting themselves all their lives. They had to defend themselves all their lives, right? So now you grew up with that thought. And then, of course, you have other factors that played a part into it and added to that hurt and that trauma and that pain as someone is not an adult. That child never had therapy. That child never had counseling or anything to help them to, understand that they're defending themselves from trauma and that they're just defending themselves from any hurt. They're building up this wall because at the core of them, they've been hurt. So they're protecting themselves. And now they meet you as an adult. And now you, who may have not experienced any trauma, and you came from that Disney World, fairies and horses and, and now you end up with a person who is full of demons. Now, again, we got to go back to, did you ask God if this person is for you? More than likely not. Listen, I know I sure didn't go to God in the first relationship and say, okay, God, come on now, we're young. We're 19, 20, whenever your first relationship was. God, is this the guy you have for me? Child, please. Listen, you're going all on flesh, all on what feels good to your flesh. Who's cute, who ain't cute, whatever your thing is. Not even realizing that you're opening yourself up to demons. Mind you, at that point, you're fighting your own demons. Even if you came from a normal upbringing. Life already got a hold of you at this point. If you're 20 years old, you done went through some things at this point. Let it be bullying, let it be first heartbreak, whatever. So you're dealing with your own demons and flaws at this time. And now you met another person who has way more demons than you. And now you open yourself up to this person. And now their demons become your demons and they're all entangled. You have an entanglement with demons. All right. So now you genuinely love this person, right? Now, mind you, you're the person who has a normal or somewhat normal, upbringing or life. And now you're with a person who is full of demons, trauma, all that stuff. Now you're trying to love on them, right? Now, mind you, you came from the proper upbringing that shows you the correct ways to love. And you have that example. So now you're loving on them the correct way. So you think, and you probably are. But how are they to receive it if they've never experienced love? So what happens is your love makes them feel raw. Your love makes them feel like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? So they're in defense mode, right? They have their walls up. Because if they've never experienced that from their own, let's say parents or whoever may have raised them, adopted parents, whatever, if they have never experienced that, to understand that love is love and love is from, there's peace and all this stuff come with love. And I love you because, you're a child of God. I love you because you're my child. I love you because if they've never experienced that, what makes you think your love is going to feel safe when they've never felt safe? So those walls are still up. And guess what? The more you love on them, the further they go. They're not used to feeling safe. You're trying to create a safe environment. And what you're doing is right. You're trying to create a safe environment, but they don't feel safe in safe environments. So what do? They have to go back to chaos. Who's going to give them chaos? Another person who's full of chaos. So that means another person who have dealt with trauma all their life. That can be the side chick who may be a straight groupie. That can be the dude who's a dope dealer. That can be a dude who's in the gang. That can be a dude. Because guess what? Demons attract demons. So here you're at home with this peaceful, beautiful spirit and everything's pure and white and their demons run from that. And here you're now sitting thinking that everything you're doing is wrong. You're the problem. You're not good enough. You're not beautiful enough. You don't have enough money. Your sex ain't good enough. All these things are playing in your head, and it has nothing to even do with you. So now this person goes and cheat on you with a side chick who's just as damaged as they are. The dude who's in and out jail. Listen, I'm not knocking anybody. Trust me, I judge no one. But the point of the matter is, that's who they cheat with. They don't leave a peaceful person and cheat with a peaceful person. And so in your mind, you're thinking now that they're all in love with this new person. You're sitting here crying because you're reading messages and you're thinking, this dude done did this better than you. And she's like, all these scenarios are playing in your head, and it has nothing to do with somebody being better. It has to do with the fact that those demons are familiar. So it now feels comfortable. The damaged person and the other damaged person. So it's not even about they're in love with each other. It's not even about any of that. It's just that they feel comfortable together. They thrive in not feeling safe. They thrive in chaos. They thrive in trauma bonds. They thrive in negativity and most times you find them smoking weed together, getting high together, drinking together. It's all about normalcy for them. And you're sitting at home thinking you're the problem. They hurt me because I'm not good enough. They hurt me because they were sitting down from day one, 15 years ago, plotting just to hurt me. No, boo. Not, it was a narcissist, yes, but So it has nothing to do with you, right? And that takes some growing to get that. Because again, we're human, you know. Who wants to be rejected? And that is a form of rejection. Because it's basically telling you that you're not good enough. So, all right. Do they miss you? It all depends. Now, I personally do believe that sometimes people do not miss something until it's gone. Right? Because here's what's going to happen. If you left or they left you and they're still dealing with this other person who's full of trauma and all that stuff. So, okay, they're comfortable together in that toxic, I can never say the word, but they're in that toxic environment. Well, guess what? They're toxic still at their core. They're still damaged at their core. They're still fighting demons at their core. So now one of them will cheat on the other. They're both not cheating. And so he or she now gets hurt from the other person. So now that person has hurt them, which reminded them of the hurt that they dealt with in childhood. So now it's like, okay, I'm hurting again. I want to go back to a safe place. Where's that safe place that's you? Do you take them back? Do you not? If you take them back, the cycle will continue unless that person is truly healed through the spirit and all that stuff. And we know that's a struggle. That's why we have to stop trying to change people. You will change nobody. You can pray behind the scenes and ask God to work on that person. That person have to want it. But if that person is coming back to you because you're still in love, regardless of how much they hurt you, you believe they can change, you see better in them, and you fall for the stuff. Okay. That's something you're going to have to deal with. You know, nobody can tell you to leave or stay. That is something you will have to deal with. So do they miss you, or do they just miss feeling comfortable because they've been hurt for that moment? And now you start back loving on them like you did before they left you. And now your love is making them feel raw again. What happens? They get afraid and they run again. Now just to a different person. And now you're still thinking, it's me. I am not good enough. Nope, it's not that. And the cycle continues. So in closing, because I did get off a little bit, in closing, I do believe personally that people miss is a good thing. However, that doesn't happen until that person has finally gotten healed or found some type of path of healing. Let it be from God. That would be the most important way. Therapy or life have just allowed them to bump their heads enough. They've been now hurt enough from the toxic people. Life have now beat and battered them. And now they're sitting at home realizing at some point what they had in you. But at this point, it's too late. Because this doesn't happen overnight. Now, this is going to be some time when they finally realize what they had. That's why, if you ever notice, like if the relationship just ended and you walked away, they may have rash your nerve and call you and try to get you back for, a couple of months, if that. But eventually they just give up, right? Because they still haven't really realized yet. And then all of a sudden, a year later, you're getting that "how are you" message. It's because life have already got a hold of them. Let that be somebody have hurt them bad to the core. Let that be they may have grown, just like you have grown. They may have grown in that process. Whatever that thing is, that's when they miss you. That's when they realize what they had. But it's too late. And then, if you notice, sometimes they want to kind of get a little, in their feelings with you, that you don't want to accept them back. Or that so they think you don't realize their growth and their now change. I'm happy you've changed, truly, because we all need to change and we all need to work on things. However, that doesn't mean that my feelings are still here. You've healed, I've healed, and I'm happy that you healed, but that season is over. That season is over. And maybe not. I've known people who say that the relationship was better the second time around. That's just not me. Not to be petty, I'm just not that girl. I just never been the one to, once those doors are closed, not like little petty breakups or arguments every now and then, but once those doors are closed, listen, life is about going forward. If God wanted us to go backwards, he would have placed our feet in the opposite direction. I wish you no harm. I truly wish you the best. Honestly, from my soul. But see, you can only do that once you're healed. All that hurt and pain that they put you through, you can only truly wish them the best when you are fully healed and recovered from that hurt. But again, they don't always hurt you just because they want to hurt you. Hurt people. They don't know how to love you. They didn't know how to love you. So it's not about you. And sometimes, you have some people who feel like if someone cheats on you, they didn't love you. Or if that person did this, they didn't. Personally, I don't agree with it. Personally, I don't agree with that. I believe a person can love you and they still can hurt you. Because again, they're operating in the fleshly sense. A person who is all flesh and have no control over their spirit or their flesh, or have no control over their flesh, it's just a lack of self-control. It's not about how they feel about you. They're not even thinking about how they feel about you. They think about that once you leave. But in that moment, it's not all in the spirit of, oh my God, I love this person. I don't want to ever hurt their soul. They don't have. Anyway, that's my thought and that's my opinion. And, so I got phones and tablets and emails and all this stuff going on. So, that's my thought. I do believe that a person can miss you, that a person will miss you. But again, sometimes it's not when you want them to. Sometimes it's when life has moved on and life have gotten a hold of them and they've been hurt long enough. They've healed and they have now grown to a place of maturity, and now they realize what you had to offer and truly, authentically, who you were. But again, they have to heal. Again, understand that we all came from different backgrounds. Again, understand you can change no one. You will frustrate yourself in the process. Instead, you're going to end up hurting yourself. So pray for people behind the scenes. Sometimes you have to walk away and let God do his thing. And if God brings it back together, then great. God has healed this person, not yourself. But most times it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with what you look like. You can't cook. Your money ain't long enough. It don't have anything to do with that. It has to do with you chose a person on your own accord, a person that God didn't have designed for you. See, the person that God have designed for you, it will fit like a puzzle. Literally, it will fit like a puzzle. Not to say we're human, so you're going to still have your little stuff, your petty stuff. It will be petty. But when God chooses, or when you manifest a person into your life that God has designed specifically for you, your purpose partner, your life partner, your husband, your wife, whatever you consider them to be, it will all fit like a puzzle. So at some point, we got to get to the point where we stop putting so much trust in people. People are just people. Everybody have their own struggle, some worse than others, but we all have our thing. People are just people. So I've learned to now put my trust in God, right? Meaning, all right, God, you said, I waited on you. I waited on you to bring these people into my life. I didn't choose this time. You brought these people into my life. So I'm not going to walk around saying I don't trust. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trust you, but I'm going to guard my heart. Meaning, I trust God to get me over the hurt if you decide to hurt me. I'm not going to trust myself. I can't trust myself. Our heart is just not that strong enough. If you've been through a really, really bad heartbreak, you know that is not something that you can deal with over and over again. It can really, listen, people die of a broken heart. I don't know if you guys know that. But so now it's about trusting God to get you over the hurt if that person hurt you. So you don't want to live the rest of your life like, oh my God, I've been hurt and I've been used and I'm never going to love again. No, boo. That means they still have control of your life. You can say, oh, I left this person. I'm no longer with this person. They no longer have control over my life. Yes, they do. If you can't move on, they still have control over your life. So you have to shift your thinking. Like, okay, I'm going to trust again. I'm going to give you leverage to trust again. I'm not going to drag this toxic past relationship into the new relationship that God has designed for me. Instead, I am going to guard my heart. I'm going to love you. I'm going to trust you, but I'm going to guard my heart because I know you're just a person. People are people. I'm going to trust God. And when you're connected like that, child, if somebody try to step out, they're going to get so convicted that they won't even be physically able to do it because God will convict them. So that's why, guys, we have to wait on God. I know it's not easy, especially to those of you who struggle with being alone. That's definitely not me. But I get it. There are some people who really struggle with being alone. Again, sometimes you have to tap into that seed. Where you what place are you operating from? Why are you afraid to be alone? Were you abandoned as a child? Were your father not there? Were you adopted? Was your mother in the crack house every night? You didn't feel safe. Why are you afraid to be alone? There's a seed there. And once you do the work and get back to that seed and heal from why you have that fear of being alone, it'll be much easier for you to wait on God. Because when you date God for a season, when you finish that season, it'll be almost hard for you to be in a relationship because you're so content and so you feel so fulfilled with purpose. But then that's when you know God is in the person because you're not out there looking. What are you looking for? If you're living in your purpose and your calling, you're so fulfilled with that, you don't even have time to look. But that's how you will know God sent them, because you're not out here looking. Now, God's going to send some counterfeits. Listen, you're going to be beating people off of you all day long. But you have to know that, okay, I can beat these people off because that ain't what God told me. That ain't what God told me he was sending to me if he was going to send something to me. You know. But when you're thirsty and when you feel like you have to be with somebody, you settle. You settle for the first dude trying to holler at the light, the first dude pulling up at the gas station. Listen, girl, nobody got time for the nonsense. I will I will pray for them. Keep it moving. But either which way, I hope this helps someone. I didn't mean to go so long, but again, when the spirit moves, the spirit moves. So I got to get back to work, guys. But you guys have a great Wednesday. Happy hump day. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.